morning, everybody. I'm Deepak Bhargava with the Center for Community Change, and here today representing the Fair Immigration Reform Movement. I'm incredibly honored to be here with these distinguished members of Congress. I really want to thank them for their astonishing leadership in moving ahead the cause of immigrant families and justice in this country. And we're all honored to be here today with families who have experienced the injustice of our immigration system directly. And my task today is to introduce them so you hear their stories directly. And today we at FIRM are challenging the administration to meet with the families who have been most affected by this crisis directly. The President has had very important meetings with mayors and business people, with members of Congress, with many key stakeholders. But there's been a notable absence, which has been hearing directly from the voices of families that have been separated and destroyed because of the enforcement-only policies that this administration is pursuing. We agree with the President that Congress needs to act, that we need a legislative solution, but in the meantime, there is no excuse for not making the changes to the policies that are within his power to do so. So it's my privilege to introduce Tony Choi. He's a Korean-American immigrant student from New Jersey. He's grown up undocumented since coming to the U.S. in 1998 when he was 10 years old. He's raised by a single mother and a sister who worked as a waitress and a manicurist. He's a senior at Berea College in Kentucky on full tuition scholarship, and he's majoring in Spanish and political science. Then after that, we'll hear from Brittney Babo, who's a United States citizen and a registered nurse who lives in Ridgely, West Virginia. She married her husband, Serge Babo, in 2006. Serge originally came to the United States in 1999 on a visitor visa to play basketball and was later denied asylum. On May 12, 2010, Serge was picked up by immigration and customs enforcement officials. In August, he was deported to his native Cameroon. Brittney and Sage have two sons who we're lucky to have with us here today, 3-year-old Jeremiah and 1-year-old Jabari. So first, Tony, can we welcome you up here? And I told Tony not to be nervous. He's just going to imagine all of you in your underwear as you talk to me. Okay? Tony?
Walls fall, the building crumbles, so does the future you once thought you had. The education you have gained has made you better, yes, but it seems like there is nowhere else to go. Because this is the end of the road. The dream doesn't seem like it was worth dreaming anymore. The expression on your face isn't the same anymore, because your dream is a crumbling dream. Hello, my name is Tony Choi, and I'm an undocumented Korean-American student from New Jersey, and I currently study at Berea College, Kentucky. I'd like to thank Congressman Gutierrez and everyone else here today for continuing to highlight the undue challenges facing the immigrant students and families. My opening words were written by a student at North Cross High School in Georgia. This poem accompanies a sculpture of a crumbling school building. The weariness in the student's words represent the fatigue of those who have been fighting the good fight to proudly call the United States their own home. I have also grown to call America my home. I was raised in America since I was 10 years old by my single mother, who was a domestic abuse survivor and a breast cancer survivor. She raised me and my sister by working long, hard hours as a manicurist and a waitress. I want reprieve for my family from the constant fear, deportation, and the risk of losing everything that we have here. With so many repeated moments of hope and disappointment, for immigration reform and the DREAM Act in particular, our communities have been feeling the strain, fighting the seemingly endless battle. From Arizona to Indiana, many states have joined in on this toxic environment of shifting the blame onto the immigrants. But even with this harsh environment, immigrant communities have stood strong. We're stronger than before, and we're continuing to organize, educate, and change the dynamic. From local communities to the national stage, we're continuing to be more visible in our sincerity, courage, and determination. Unfortunately, while we work towards reform, there are still too many families facing deportation. Within the Korean American and the Asian American community, We have real-life stories like Manolo Lem's, where deportation is only stayed after a labor of love and hours of support from community members scrambling and protesting to help. How many more families and students are being deported while we spend our entire resources and energies on one case at a time? As we, the people, directly facing the challenge of a broken immigration system day in and day out, while courts change, we ask you, Mr. President, to provide safety and protection to those in our communities, the families and students, who look simply to live their American lives. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Brittney Babo, and I'm a United States citizen. I live in Richland, West Virginia, and I work in Cameroon, Maryland as a registered nurse. I have 2 children who are with me today, Jeremiah, who will be 4 in September, and Jabari, who will be 2 in August. I also have with me my father, Doug. In 2006, we married Serge Babo, their father and a native of Cameroon, who originally came to the United States to play basketball. Serge graduated from high school in Indianapolis and eventually applied for political asylum. His request and a subsequent appeal were both denied. He was granted voluntary departure, but following poor advice from an attorney, he did not leave the country. We met in college, eventually got married, and meanwhile Serge continued to work to fix his immigration status. He has always paid taxes. He's not a criminal. After college, he became a treatment associate with an organization that works with troubled children, children who are neglected, abused, children raised without a father. Serge acted as a father figure to these children. Many of those children have expressed to us during the time while Serge has been gone just how much of a father figure Serge was to them, a role model, and now he's also been taken not only out of their lives, but out of the lives of his own children. On May 12, 2010, Serge was picked up by Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials while doing dishes at our home. He was put in immigration detention, and after 3 long months of being treated as a high-risk flight risk, he was deported to his native Cameroon on August 19, 2010. You can only imagine how devastating this was for me, for my children, and for my parents. Since he was deported, I have struggled to care for my 2 sons. I work 10-hour night shifts. Sometimes I work 12 hours. And I work a lot of overtime just so that I can provide for my family. Not only do I provide for my family here in the United States, but I also support Serge and his family in Cameroon. In the meantime, I continue to fight for my husband's return. We have just filed a waiver, a hardship waiver, to try and override the 10-year ban that he has from returning to the United States. It should be 8 to 12 weeks. Hopefully, by the end of summer, we'll have Serge home with us. We celebrate our 5-year anniversary in August. It would be absolutely wonderful if we could be home for that. Not only for that, but also for the birthdays of our children. I believe that the President has taken many important steps towards finally bringing an end to the immigration problem in this country. We need immigration reform. Immigration problems need to be fixed not only for our family, but for all the families that are hurting. There's so many children out there like Jeremiah, like Jabari. They don't have their father. Some don't even have their mama. President Obama, you're meeting with high-profile people. You're meeting with business leaders, political officials. You're trying to restart the debate about how to best change our broken system. You're moving in the right direction, but it's not enough. Together with the families here today, and thousands of other families torn apart by immigration detention and deportation, I call on you, President Obama, please meet with us. Hear our stories. Hear the stories of the people that are affected by this immigration problem. It's time to include our stories and our experiences in the discussions around the policies that affect our lives. This is the next step toward a broader cooperation that will bring about immigration reform, and this country will be stronger for that. Thank you.